What's up, YouTubers? Red Crimson Gaming here. So the direct for the Switch 2 came and went. There were a lot of mixed feelings about it. Some people loved it, and of course, as always, there are always haters. I told you guys, man, if it's not one thing, it's always the other. They complain about the Switch graphics. They complain about the drop frame rates. They complain about the online. Nintendo addressed all that in the Switch 2 Direct. We're getting a 4K hybrid console, guys. Great frame rate. Same AAA games as the competition's consoles or PC. They have the market cornered. Nintendo Switch 2 will have everything you need, every game you need. There's something there for every gamer, down to the babies, from the babies to the small children, to adults, all the way up to your grandpappy, your grandma. They have the market cornered with this new system they have coming out. So now haters are finding an excuse on why to hate Nintendo once again. And you know what that excuse is? The high price cartridges. Listen, man, the high price for the games. People are spreading wrong information. Oh, the Nintendo Switch 2 games are going to cost $90. No, they're not. They're still the same price, just like every other console, $60 and $70. Yes, there's some $80 games in there, but I've seen people, matter of fact, I've seen some people going to the GameStop and they bought the collector's edition for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I've seen people buy deluxe editions for games where they give you like skins and barely nothing, to be honest with you. Call of Duty does the same thing. I've seen people buy deluxe edition games for $100, $150, $200 to $250, and you're complaining that Nintendo games are $80? Come on, guys. Going into the 360 and PS3 era, games went from $50 to $60. Nobody complained. From PS3 era into the PS1, PS4 era, they started selling games for $70. I believe, actually, I may be wrong. With the PS5 and the Series X era, games are $70. So it's pretty much games go up $10 every generation. Guys, we have price hikes, inflation, and now with the tariffs going on, of course it's going to affect Nintendo. Do you actually think that when PS6 and the next Xbox comes out, the games are still going to be $70? They're going to be $80 as well. Actually, they're going to be more because Microsoft and PlayStation, especially Microsoft, love charging $100 for their games. The base, come on guys, you can go into the Xbox store, the PlayStation store, and you will see deluxe edition games, special edition games for $100 and up, promising you DLC for later, or skins, or a special, I don't know, weapon or whatever the case may be. And a lot of these DLC, these deluxe edition games, I do not purchase because I never saw the point of buying a deluxe edition game nowadays, because it comes with nothing, only cosmetics for a weapon or two or a skin. That's stupid. I'm not going to spend $100 for a game that's going to give me a gold gun or whatever the case may be. More than half of these deluxe edition, high price, $100 plus games aren't worth. They're not worth $100. But I don't hear anybody complaining. But as soon as Nintendo is the first to put $10 prices on their games, $80 is a problem. PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox are going to do the same thing. The only difference is Nintendo beat them to the punch because they came out with their next generation first. PlayStation and Xbox are coming after. So I want to really see, once the next PlayStation and Xbox consoles come out and they're $80, $90, I want to see if people are going to complain. And I knew this was going to happen. People are going to find a reason to hate Nintendo. And those same people, you know what they're going to do? Go out and buy the Nintendo Switch 2. Go ahead and complain that the games are $80. So I have a reason to go in there and buy 2 Nintendo Switch 2 consoles. One for myself and one for my daughter. So keep complaining. Guys, video games is an expensive hobby. You have to understand that. It has always been like that. If you think $80 is too much for a game, video games are too expensive, consoles too expensive, maybe you should stop playing video games. Why don't you go play bingo or something? Get into purchasing trading cards. I don't know. Just find another hobby. Don't complain. If nobody's telling you to buy it, I'm not complaining. I don't care if the games were $100 for the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm still gonna buy it. You might just have to scale down on the games you buy per week or per month basis. That's it. If the games are $80 or $90, then I won't be buying 2-3 games like I normally would do. I would just buy one game, focus on that one game, trade that game in to knock the price off the game that you want. So people need to stop spreading false information. Those Nintendo haters out there trying to run with false information saying that the Switch games are $90. That's not true. Maybe in certain regions because the dollar difference. There's a dollar difference. Canadian dollars is different from American dollars. Their dollars is less than American dollars. So of course, in Canada, the system is going to price higher, and the games are going to be priced higher as well because they're in different regions, different countries, different regions, different countries, different pricing. Remember, guys, you have to pay for shipping, handling, basically export, and then you have the tariffs once again. So please, guys, well, I can't stop people from spreading false information, but I want to let all my subscribers know, and anybody that come across my channel, that Nintendo Switch 2 games aren't gonna cost $90. They're anywhere from $60 to $80, no more than $80. And just like every other console, once the games come out, even if it's $70, $80, right? 2-3 months later, they're gonna drop the price, guys, from 80 to like maybe 40, 50, 60, whatever. That's always the case. We see that now with new games. A new game launches for the Series X and PS5 at $70. Then you look, next thing you know, a month or two down the line, that game is $40. I see it all the time. I just came from the store and I saw a Split Fiction for $50, and that game was launched at $70, I believe. So come on, guys, let Nintendo have their glory. Give Nintendo their flowers, man. They're giving us what we want. That should have easily been a $700 to $800 system, but they decided to bless us and lower the price and give it to us for $450. That's a steal. The PS5 and Series X both launched at $500, and not to mention, let's not forget about the scalpers that was selling the system for $1,000, and I didn't hear anybody complain. But the Switch 2 is $450, and they're complaining. Come on, guys. But for you all that didn't see my last video, I pretty much let everybody know that, hey, it's either you're gonna pay for a high price console, and maybe the games might be $60, $70, or it's either you get a console, a next gen console for cheap, but the games are expensive. Or unless you'd rather pay on the arm and a leg for the console, and games are cheap. I guess when I think about it, to be honest with you, I'd rather pay a high price for the console and have a cheap game. So I feel you guys paying, but remember, guys, every generation it goes up by $10, guys. Because we're coming from from the 90s, $50. And the 360 era was $60. And now we have the PS5 era, which is $70. So next generation is going to go up to $80, $90 and better. And Xbox and PlayStation, they love selling their games for $100. We've been seeing this for years. So I don't know why everybody thinking this is new, something new that Nintendo's doing, a price hike. I don't understand. But when Sony and Xbox does it, it's fine. If Sony came out with a PS6 before Nintendo Switch 2 and it was $80, $90, you guys wouldn't even complain. You guys would eat it up. Sony dropped the PS5 Pro for $700. That system is not worth $700, but I didn't hear anybody complain. It's not going to be sold out, and the people aren't going to run out there and buy it, but people still bought it. But one thing I do hate about a Nintendo Switch 2 so far are those game key cards. They need to get out of here with that. So gamers, vote with your wallets. I, for one, I didn't even buy those Nintendo Switch physical games that had 2 gigs of data and the rest were a download. I avoid all those. When I didn't know any better, when the Switch first launched, I still bought the games. I believe I have maybe like 2 games, max probably, maybe even 3, where it says download required. Like 2 to 3 games. So if it's not entirely on the cartridge, I just get it digitally. It just makes more sense. So that's the only thing I hate about the new Nintendo Switch 2. But I was confused as well because I thought all the games were going to be key card licensed games, but they're not. Only the games that developers do not want to put fully entirely on the cartridge. The cartridge also costs more, guys. Remember, Nintendo Switch 2 isn't using physical media discs, which are significantly cheaper to produce. So stores and developers can sell a game for $70, $60, hell, even less than that, $40, $20. You go to if you go to Walmart or Target right now, you can buy PS5 games and Xbox One games for literally $20. I've seen Dead Space 3 for like 20. Oh, the new Dead Space. I'm sorry, the Dead Space remake for about $20. They can do that because it's disc. It doesn't cost that much to make a disc. But cartridges is a whole different thing. We seen this in the 90s era with the N64. Remember N64 guys? The games were like $80, $90 because the cartridges cost more to make. It's the same thing with the Switch 2. They're using cartridges. Not only that, they're using a higher proprietary data disc cartridge over what the Switch 1 used. So the Switch 2 cartridge has faster data rate, so the games are going to load like a SSD or close to a SSD. You're getting faster loading times and larger capacity gaming cards. The Nintendo Switch 2 gaming cards, I want to say it's 64 gigs. I think the base Nintendo 64 Switch 2 game card is going to hold 64 gigs of data. And so it's 64 and up, which is expected. So if I have to pay $80, $10 more to get the game in its entirety on a cartridge, I'm gonna go to town. I'm gonna go ahead and get it, because you know why? Because those are physical games I can actually touch, feel, hold, and put on my shelf back there. You understand what I'm saying? So I'd rather pay $80 or hell, even $90 for a physical game that I know it's gonna be on a cartridge in its whole entirety. And when I'm ready to resell the game, I can resell the game, versus you buy an $80, $90 or $70 digital download game, and one day it just disappears from the eShop or PSN or Xbox Game Pass. At least I know I have that game and I own that game. I can touch it, put it on the shelf, pass it down to my kids, or resell it in hard times. You can't resell digital games. So I get it. Nintendo using high proprietary data cards to store their games. So I'm willing to pay the extra fee just to have the game in its entirety. Now, I'll be upset if I'm paying $80, $90 for a game and it's not on a cartridge. I'm paying for some little download key. I don't want that. Then it's not worth it. So I guess that's all I have to say on the matter. I hope I cleared the air with that. Nintendo Switch 2 games aren't $90. In some region, yes, the games may be more expensive than a traditional cost of $70. And the console as well, because it's different regions, guys. Remember, we're in the US, so we're gonna get our games cheaper than somebody over there in Canada or Russia or wherever. So that's all it is. So stop spreading false information. Switch 2 games are still $60. Some are $70, some are $80. Within that bracket, $60 to $80. When PS6 comes out, the next Xbox, their games will be $80 too, if they're still on disc. So we'll see what happens to Nintendo. They just have to play their cards right. And when the Switch 2 is still on track to be launched on June 5th, mark that on your calendar, guys. And we'll see what happens in the next couple of months once the Switch 2 is on the market. We'll see if Nintendo is going to retract their price. Maybe they might keep it at $70. Third party might keep their games at $70, and after a couple of months they drop it down to something reasonable like $40, $50, like I've been seeing across the board. They've been doing that for generations. That's nothing new, guys. The games are always expensive when they're new. Several months later, they drop the price. But we'll see if Nintendo's going to make adjustments. They're going to watch the market, see how the Switch 2 sells, see how the games are selling. If there's an issue where they're having trouble moving physical software or software as a whole due to the the extra $10 on top of the 70, which makes it 80. If they're not moving any games, then they may reconsider and they may have no choice but to drop the price. But remember, guys, tariffs, inflation, taxes. I mean, Nintendo has to make money. They can't just give you the game for free. Understand what I'm saying? They can't sell it at a loss. Then they'll be out of business, guys. So stop complaining. I mean, for the love of God, man, just don't buy the system. If it's too much, don't buy the system. Go get you an inferior Steam Deck. Go get you a ROG Ally and pay for those, those Steam games that's on sale for like $10, $20 and all that stuff. I don't really like those systems anyway. So I don't get tired of tweaking the wattage just to find the right spot, the sweet spot to play my game at 60 FPS, and at the same time it still drops the frame rate. So I don't know, guys. I'm cool with whatever Nintendo wants to do. We'll see if they make adjustments, but for those people that's complaining, the Switch 2 might not be for you. Just go ahead and keep on playing your Xbox or PlayStation, whatever console that you like to play on, and just ignore the Switch 2, but stop spreading false rumors. I know I can't stop people. I'm not saying that I can't stop people, and I'm not trying to stop people, but I'm just letting people know, start with a false information. That's it, guys. If you're new to my channel, you already know what to do. Like and subscribe, and have a good rest of the day. I'm finna go take a look at some Metroid Prime 4 gameplay footage. Peace.